Hey everyone, it's Richie G here. Today, I'm going to unbox my PlayStation 2 that I have not touched in 15 years. My original PlayStation 2. Hey, join me. Here we go. So hey, I know what you're thinking. This is a PlayStation 2 unboxing video. What's he doing the 5? I bought that. I was lucky enough to get one. But it made me think about my nostalgia for my old PlayStation 2, which has been sitting in a box for about 15 years. And I wanted to unbox it. And I figured I'd make a video of it for people who've never really seen one, and plug it in and to test it all at the same time. So here we go. Let's get to that right now. Thanks again for joining me. So this is my PlayStation 2 that I purchased way back in 2004. To be honest with you, I haven't played it since 2006, and then it was packed up, and it's been sitting ever since. So I'm gonna basically unbox this whole thing. We're gonna look at it, all sides and angles, stuff like that. Show people who've never seen a PlayStation 2 before how it came, what it looked like, what model this is, and all that kind of stuff. Cool nostalgia for some people. The PlayStation 2 is the best-selling system ever sold. I believe Wii is number 2. Check it out. The box was pretty cool back then. Pretty simple, you know. 50,000 series PlayStation 2. There were many models that came out. In America, we mostly started out with the 50,000, but then eventually they got to the slimline model, which was the 70,000. You'll see by here, there's the barcode for selling it. It's the serial number. I want to test it, show it's working still, and then most likely I'm going to put it on eBay at some point to sell, as I no longer will have a need for it. It had a DVD player inside of it. And I'll show you some of the other stuff on it, and you know, as you can see, played DVD players. It also played CDs. You were able to hook it up to the internet, although I never did that. You can check in here. These are some of the games that were coming out at the time. They said this is a 2004 purchase that I had, and these were the games at the time that were out. They were advertising for. Back then, there were a lot of accessories. A lot of accessories for PlayStation 2, you know, remotes and multi-taps and other types of connectors, and you know, mine has an expansion bay, which I never use, which I'll show you in a few minutes here. Opening it up. See how well I packed it up way back then in 2006. So, yeah, I pretty much did pack. I'm a nerd for putting stuff back in its original bags. I rarely throw away things. I always think about saving stuff because what if I'm going to move? There's also that version of what if I'm gonna upgrade and sell something. So here's your AV cable, connects into the back of it. Most TVs now don't even have connectors like that, so sometimes you gotta buy an adapter. My smart TV has a connector for that, which I'll show you in a few minutes. Here's the controller. Neat and tidy. I packed it all back up apparently. I did play this for about 2 years. Many games. But the games are longer. I no longer have. So this is obviously not the original controller because they were black at the time. So this is just the clear one. Let's see, can we read what's on there? I don't know if we can see that. Let me get a magnifying glass. See it. There's a type that they show right there. Hang on a sec. Okay. It's kind of hard to see because of the clear plastic, but if you look, ooh, bad reflection. Sorry, folks. I'm trying to use a magnifying glass at the same time. It's right there where the light's bouncing. Let me check it out here. It says Sony controller, analog controller. It's an A. It's going to be right next to my thumb right here, if I can zoom in. Whoa, learn how to use a camera, Rich. Right there, see that? There's an A, right? Kind of hard to make out. Right there by my thumb. There's a better shot of it. It's an A type. And they made different kinds back then. I believe the original ones came out were the H's. I think H's is what came in. And it's funny, I had many of the H ones. H ones broke a lot for some reason. There was one called an M. I've never seen that type. But this is an A. The A's usually lasted the best from what I've read and researched. So this is cool. So I'm positive this one's going to work when we test it. We will come back to that. Here's an old This is one of the ones that kind of the original type. This is what you would have got in the box. These are actually H's, and I'm pretty sure these don't work anymore. Okay, back to the box. Okay, here's your power cord. Plugs into the back of the console. This obviously goes in your outlet. This did not come with the system, I don't believe, but it's an 8 MB storage. Most of them you would buy back then were 1. I know this is ridiculous when you think of, we're talking gigabytes and stuff like that nowadays. There might even be information on it from some of the games. We'll have to check that out. So there's that. Okay, inside the box. Here's the console. Here's the manual. Manuals back then were crazy. They had a lot of info in them. And they were actually kind of humorous too because of some of the stuff they showed inside. And I'll just kind of show you a few seconds here. So, basically, instruction manual. It had many languages. You got your French, you got your Spanish, you got your English. You know, like I said, there's the 50,000 series that I have. You know, warnings, precautions, all your basic stuff. You know, don't play it, don't water nearby, and all that stuff like that. You know, roof antennas, that's about electricity and grounding and stuff like that. You know, check out this silly thing here. I don't know if you can see that. We'll zoom in here. It's next, got a picture of someone in their bathtub and the system's right next to them. Seems kind of silly to warn people of that. You know, I mean, these kind of make sense. Don't place it on a couch, you know, because you need ventilation. These things, you know, like any electronics, can heat up. You know, lots of silly things. Really cool. How to connect it to the TV, information about all the stuff that's included in the box. You know, different types of connections back then. You know, turning it on, how to play a game. Moving stuff around on the memory cards because you could move information around if you needed to. Playing CDs. Whoa, forgot to zoom out. Sorry about that, folks. You know, playing a movie, DVDs. I know most people are Blu-ray now, but even further on, we're on downloading stuff now. Most people don't even play discs that much anymore. I do, but that's okay. Here's your support things. Ratings on games for the game systems. This has changed a lot since back then. But as you can see, there's a lot in here. You know, this is the US. It just goes on and on. You know, there's like 35 pages, I think. Nope, I was wrong. 33 pages of just English. And then you got your French and your Spanish. Very thick. Very thick. Nowadays, you're lucky if you even get a manual with anything you buy. So surprising that you have something like this. Very cool. Throw that down over here. Okay. Let's get to the nitty-gritty here. Hey, back then, there were different types. So if you notice, I got this kind of biodegradable. This is more for landfills, kind of breaks down. I think they did it for cost effective. This was version 10 of the phat model. There was a version 9, which was a styrofoam. Like I said, this is the last one before they went to the slim line. And the slim line started, I believe, late 2004 is when they started advertising. I'm not sure when they came out. You know, and I bought this in October of 2004, so this is right before the slim line started getting advertised and coming out. The only difference between 9 and 10, from my understanding, was this stuff, packaging. It doesn't really matter in the gameplay. I think the only thing that changed was the stuff on the back of the system. We'll find out. So, pulling this out, put the box aside. Ugh. That's just support for the box of the system. Put some cardboard here on the sides. Like I said, this is just that biodegradable stuff. Better for landfills. Going green back then, they were thinking maybe. Alrighty, so here's my system. PlayStation 2. Back then, pretty heavy. Cool though. Like kind of bringing back memories because I haven't seen this thing in years. I always keep stuff in good condition. When I'm not playing, I would cover them after they cooled off. Basically on the front, what you had. Let me get this stuff out of the shot. Your memory cards went here. You know, which are these little memory cards here, like this example. You pop it in. You know, you keep your gameplay, save your data where you're at in the game. There were 2 of those. Your controller's plugged into these 2 ports here. This is where the disc would go in and out. Your reset button to power it on and off, which there is a power on and off button on the back. People got confused by this a lot. This was a reset, but you could also power it on, sleep mode kind of thing. The door to open it, and you could either have the PlayStation like flat, like this on your desk, or you could have it vertical. And what a lot of people didn't know is you could turn this little logo, depending on which way you had it. I don't think I even knew about it that at first. This is for, I think this is what they call FireWire, or when they had the link system. Nobody really used it. I never used it at all, so this never got touched. Now there's your side, bottom, your other side. On the back, this was your power button, on and off, plug in your cord. This is your AV, where you would plug it into your TV. I never used that. Can't even read what that says right now. And your expansion bay was right here. This was for if you bought some of the, I believe, Final Fantasy X. You had to buy this extra hard drive that went in here. Basic, you know, never got that far for me, so, you know, that's never got used. And here's all the information about my model. Like I said, it's a 50,000 series. Here's the serial number. But anyway, we're going to pause here, and I'm going to start hooking it up to the TV and see if it works. I'm positive it will. Okay, I changed the source in my TV. Power on the system. The button on the back. And we should get some sound, and it's going to turn on. Turn the volume up. Oh, that sound brings back memories for me. So, again, here's the remote. Moving it up and down. Hitting the X or enter. I don't have a disc in there right now, so this is what we're doing. Oh, so here's your system configuration. Screen. Change all the settings. Set it to your TV size. Digital out is on. This component video. So there's different settings for all the stuff that how different TVs that you had back then. Let's just play with the clock for a minute. Hitting the X button. Change it. Oh, I see. You gotta move it to the one you want first. Hit X. Interesting. Let's get to the year. It's been a while since I've done this. 2021. Okay, today is the 28th, I believe. Oh, 28th. Let's go backwards. There you go. Anyway, let's put a disc in. Let's see what that looks like. Where should we go? Let's do it with one of my favorite games. I always like this. I had the Hot Shot Golf. I played this a lot. This is the third version. So you open the drawer, put a disc in, taking it out of the box. So put it in. The game is now loading. Back then, everything loaded slowly. Big difference from today. So like I said, this is Hot Shot Golf 3 that's loading. It's noticing I don't have a memory card. Let's put that memory card in. Okay. No memory card inserted. So we'll hit no. Oh. Now it's checking. Hot Shot Golf 3. See how everything loads slow? It was amazing. Back then, you know, you hated it, but you dealt with it. And it wasn't that annoying, so. Continue. What do we got here? Scanning memory card. Oh yeah, look at that, see? The last time I played this was November 16th of 2006. We're talking 15 years ago almost. Almost 15 years ago. Okay, I'm back. I took out the memory card, rebooted the game and everything, starting over fresh. That way I want to lose my date. I want to check into that later, just see what it was. Don't want to have the date changed on me for proof. Okay, anyway, so here we go. We're going to start loading it. This game was a lot of fun. I had played multiplayer with my friends a lot, but single player. Start loading that up. Different versions of the game. You could pick who you wanted as your caddy or your player first. So, like this, let's pick this guy.
Hey, I'm sick of waiting.
Pick your courses, stuff like that. You had to earn other courses with time. In the settings, you could pick your caddy and all that kind of stuff like that. But I just don't want to go into everything right now. Again, always waiting for stuff to load. View the course. You could read the wind up there, you know. Let's just do a couple quick things, see if I remember how to play here. Oh, that was a bad hit.
Hello? Hello?
I'm out of bounds. You know what that means? Do it over. Let's try this again. Oh, a little better. Ball flying. It's funny to think of how the graphics, how much they've changed if you think about how games look nowadays compared to back then. It's funny seeing this on this TV because I don't think I played it on this TV when I had it last. Oh, another bad shot.
Hello?
Maybe this is why I gave up playing PlayStation. Hey, so I put in my other game. I have a Madden 2002. They put out these games yearly, it felt like, back then. You know? It's funny to look at the quality. It's very dark in my opinion. It's very blurry, hazy. That could be settings that I haven't set yet, but compared to nowadays, it's just amazing. The technology, how much it's changed. But at the time, this was such an upgrade from Nintendo 64 and all the other stuff I had, the Atari. I go way back. I'm a pretty old guy. I go back to when the Atari just had the 2600 with the big cartridges. You had to blow out because they would get dusty, you know. And then, heck, my very first one was the, I don't even remember what it was called, but it had pinball and breakout on it and stuff like that. And it had little thumb things like a pinball machine. You know, we played that for hours.
They're lined up for the kickoff.
I was amazed by the sounds. I always like the sounds of games. Alright, let's see if I can figure out how to do this. Oh, apparently I'm calling audible. And the kickoff. Alright, oh, the controller, I forgot. The controller, one of the first ones that would shake. Let's get the game out of there. So you could also, when you put your memory card in, when you had no games in the system, this is when you could transfer information around if you had a second card. But see, you could look at what you had. So here's what's on my card. I got Hot Shots, Golf. Like I said, hasn't been played since 2006. You got your information. So you could use this to copy it, delete it, get rid of it, that kind of thing. So this is the horizontal version of the system. I think, if I remember right, I always kept it vertical. I think I did that for space. I feel like that's how I kept it all the time. You know, then you'd load the disc on that side, you know, see here's the drawer coming out. I believe that's how I did it. Alright, so let me rehash. So in the box, I had my PlayStation 2, my DualShock controller, which I said, memory card, it's the port you plug it in. Spot for a second one. There was multiplayer devices you could put in here, and then you could play up to 4 people. Like that. Disk drive plays DVD, CD, stuff like that. The composite cable, plug into your TV. People always talk about the warranty seal not being broken. It has never been broken. Well, I hope everybody's enjoyed going through this with me. I'm going to pack this back up in its original box, get everything back the way it was when I opened the box, and pack all the games back up. And most likely I'll be selling this on eBay at some point in the near future, in the next few weeks, because after 15 years I finally decided to start playing again, and I bought a PlayStation 5. I was lucky enough to get one. I know it's a very difficult thing to get right now. I've tried many times. I've watched a lot of the Twitter accounts and all the alerts in the systems, and I was lucky enough to get one a few months ago. And I haven't even opened that one. That shows you how busy my life can be at times. Anyway, let's get this boxed up. Well, I wanted to thank everyone for joining me today. It's all boxed back up. It was fun for me to reminisce and look at this old PlayStation 2 that I've had boxed up for a while. As I move into the modern world with this, the PlayStation 5. I was able to snag one back in March with the help of some Twitter, YouTube drop people. I will tag them below probably. But I'm moving into the new world after 15 years of not playing. I'm going from a PS2 to a PS5. Should be interesting. I'll probably do a video unboxing that at some time shortly. Thanks again for watching. Hey, if you liked the video, hit subscribe. I'm going to be putting out the PS5 one eventually, and also a bunch of travel videos from my past. See you later.